1. How did the enormous variety of species arise on the Earth? Naturalists began to have doubts about the Western scholars' view that each species had been created separately. Natural selection derives evolution. In 1858, Charles Darwin and Alfred Russel Wallace described the process of evolution by natural selection. The idea came to Wallace out of the blue while he was suffering from a fever. However, Darwin had been accumulating evidence for 20 years since the voyage on the HMS Beagle. In 1859, Darwin published his revolutionary book, The Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection. The hypothesis he stated was based on 4 main observations. Reproduction will tend to increase the population rapidly until factors limit it. Individuals of a given species are not identical. Some of the variations among individuals is inherited, and not all of the offsprings given generations should survive in order to reproduce. The inference was made that among individuals, variations affect the probability of their surviving, causing them to not be able to live long enough to reproduce, meaning they would not pass on this individual characteristic to the new generation. New adaptations, which are traits that increase the probability of successful reproduction, will eventually predominate in the population. The concept of evolution by natural selection is one of the most important principles in the life of science. An additional mechanism of natural selection is sexual selection, a form of evolution through natural selection in which members of one sex favor specific heritable traits in the other sex when choosing a reproductive partner. Evolution may converge upon similar solutions. Adaptations to similar ecological features may bring about similarities in behavior or structures among animals. Convergent evolution is the evolutionary process by which responses to similar ecological factors bring about similarities in behavior or structure among animals that are only distinctively related. Homoplasy is a physical resemblance between physical or behavioral characteristics due to convergent evolution. An example of this is similar body forms of a tuna and a dolphin. Homology is a physical resemblance that is based upon a common ancestor. Analogy is a similarity of function, although the structures may look different. Modern evolutionary theory combines natural selection and genetics. Genetics is the study of inheritance, including the genes encoding DNA. A mutation is a change in the nucleotide sequence of a gene resulting in unfaithful replication. Chromosomes are a complex condensed strand of DNA and associated protein molecules found in the nucleus of cells. Inside these chromosomes are genes, a length of DNA that encodes the information for constructing our particular proteins. Epigenetics is a study of factors that affect the expression without making any changes in the nucleotide sequence themselves. How closely related are two species? A genus is a group of species that resemble each other because of shared inheritance. Species is a group of individuals that can readily interbreed and produce fertile offspring. Phylogeny is the evolutionary history of a particular group. Taxonomy is a field study today of the classifications allowing us to understand genetics. Why should we study other species? Different kinds of animals have evolved specific behaviors and mechanisms that allow them to exploit specific set of environmental opportunities or ecological niches.